This is day 2 of end decoding challenge, and today we're going to solve valid parenthesis. There is only one input, a variable string s. S is a combination of opening and closing characters of 3 types of brackets. We have to check if s is valid string of brackets or not in terms of the rules defined. There are 3 rules defined here. Rule number 1 is open brackets can be closed by only same kind of brackets. For example, a bracket will only be considered closed when both the characters are of same type. Rule number 2 is open brackets must be closed in the same order. That means the bracket type which has opened last should be closed first. And rule number 3 is the reverse explanation of rule number 1. From point number 2, you can very easily realize that we have to use a data structure called stack. Stack works on the principle of last in, first out. That means the last data that will be pushed into the stack will be the first one to be popped. Let's take an example with this string. Our pointer I is at 0th index, so we'll simply push this value into stack. We'll move I further. Now we have one opening curly braces. Then we'll have one closing curly braces. Now we'll compare the value at I and the value at top of the stack. If this is opening and if this is closing, then we'll simply pop this value and we'll move I one ahead. Again, we have an open round square brackets, then we'll push it here and we'll move I next. Again, we'll see this is a closing bracket, and then we'll compare it with the top of the stack. Then these two brackets are matching, then we'll just pop it. We'll move one I further. We have one other closing bracket, we'll compare with the value at top of the stack, and we can see these two are matching, then we'll pop it. After the iteration, our stack is empty. That means our string is valid. But if our stack is not empty at the end, then our string is definitely invalid. In one more case, the string will be invalid, where the closing bracket at I is not equal to the bracket that is at the top of the stack. This is the implementation for the same. The first 3 cases in this block are covering the ending curly braces. The first one is covering the opening curly braces, and the last part is covering if the stack is empty or not.